Have you ever been told that you can't change your looks because of your genetics? In my entire life, I have been told this lie. But that is simply not the truth. It is our habits that determines our attractiveness. And the single most powerful habit that we can do for our looks is to train our face. Therefore, in this video, I will teach you step by step on how we can train what I call the 4 key facial muscles. That if trained, you will go from the ugly guy to now becoming the attractive guy. So you can attract countless of girls. And if you want faster results, you can work with me one-on-one. I have a program where there will be full guides on how to Looksmax. And I will review your specific looks so I can make a customized workout plan just for your looks. Just go click the top link of the description. All the details are there. Now that we have covered that part, let's go into step number 1, which is train what I call the 4 key facial muscles and how to train them. These 4 muscles are what took my ugly face at 18 years old to now just 5 months later at 19 years old, being called attractive by countless of people, which has even gotten me a girlfriend. So let's go to muscle number 1, which is the masseter muscle. So why should we train something called the masseter muscle, aka it's just your chewing muscles that we have out here? And the reason why we want to train this muscle is because a lot of people actually have what's called an asymmetrical face. And usually the most common sign of an asymmetrical face is that one of their masseter muscles is bigger than the other one, which will make your jaw go more to one of the sides, or you will just look bigger on one of your sides. The second reason why we want to train it is because it will give us a more wider jawline, which will just make us look so much more attractive. It will give us that strong masculine look. Therefore, my action step for you is to first figure out which side of your masseter muscles is more overtrained than the other one. Because if you just start training these muscles equally, you won't really fix the problem, which was having an asymmetrical face. So what you want to do is that you just want to take your phone and you just want to take a picture of yourself, a selfie from the front view. And then you just want to take a look at your face, which sides looks bigger. And you have to look for this area here. Because for my example, this muscle over here, my left side, was way bigger actually than my right side. And that's why I figured out that I am chewing more on this side subconsciously. So now I just have to think about doing the following step, which you have to do as well, which is that you just want to chew equally on both sides. So you chew like this instead of chewing like this from side to side, because we put unequal pressure on each side, obviously because we are stronger on one of our sides. And then what you want to do as a bonus tip is that when you are like at the end of your chewing set, we can call it like a set, just like at the gym when you're training. When you're at the end, like you feel so burned out, you just want to switch to your weaker side and then you just want to finish the rep only chewing on that side. So over time, it will get a little bit bigger, so it will match the other muscle, so they will be equally strong. When they have then become equally strong, you start only chewing on both sides equally. That is actually also why that I don't really recommend you buying the popular gum. Like you have probably seen, like, what is he called? Maverick? No, what is he called? Like some popular like looksmaxing guy on the internet. He sells this kind of gum. The only reason why you should buy that is if you have it in both sides. Because if you only chew on one gum, you can't have it in both sides at the same time, so you would chew with more pressure on one of the sides, as I said earlier, right? So you will start just developing asymmetrical parts of your face. And that reminds me that we all know the feeling of being ugly. Like maybe we have an asymmetrical face, maybe we don't have the certain jawline that we want to have. And when we don't have these attractive traits in us, we actually won't get treated equally to, for example, the more attractive people. So I would love to know your story. So go down to the comment section and then type out exactly what you have had to be going through just because you didn't look as good as one of the more attractive kids maybe in your class when you were younger. So when you have done that, let's go to now the second muscle, which isn't actually a muscle, it's a bone, but we just called it a muscle to make it easier for us to understand the terms. And it's a bone, a muscle that we call the hyoid bone. So you might be wondering as well, so why do we need to train like our hyoid bone? Like what is even the hyoid bone? So our hyoid bone is the muscle that we have right under like our chin here, around our throat area. It goes up here inside, and basically this bone holds together all our tissues, for example like our neck tissues, our mandible, like our lower jawline bone. It holds these things together. So if your hyoid bone is not raised up properly, your jawline and your neck posture will all get fucked up. But there's something else as well. So have you ever wondered, if you have ever seen like your jawline from the side profile, why you actually have like skin hanging off under here? Like maybe you were just like me when I was younger and you're maybe actually quite lean right now, or maybe you're quite skinny. So you shouldn't have that much fat. So why do you have like skin hanging or fat hanging off here? And I figured out that there's two reasons for this. The first reason is that you're just overweight and you just need to go on a calorie deficit. But some people, when they literally lose weight, they still have skin hanging off here. Basically, they have no definition on their jawline from the side profile. And the reason for this is because they haven't been training their hyoid bone. So now I'm so excited to share with you the action steps that help me fix all of these things. So the action step that I want you to do is that you want to train 2 different exercises. The first exercise is where you want to do something called a chin tuck. Because when we do a chin tuck, we naturally fix, first of all, our posture, so we get a more straighter neckline instead of having this kind of curved neck, which again fucks up our hyoid bone and our mandible. So when we do the chin tuck, basically where you do from up, and then you try to make as many double chins as possible, and you make your chin go inwards. That's how we train like the chin tuck, which will raise our hyoid bone and fix our neck posture. When this gets too easy to do, the chin tuck, you just want to progressively overload it by taking your hands together like if you were going to pray. And then you take your thumbs under your chin here. And then what you want to do is that you just want to apply pressure like this upwards with your thumbs while resisting downwards in a chin tuck with your chin here, so it looks like this. That is all you gotta do in order for you to really fix your neck posture and raise your hyoid bone over time. For you to know that it's feeling in the correct way, like you're doing it correctly, you want to feel a burn around your throat area here, because that's your hyoid bone getting worked. The second, and in my opinion, the most effective way to raise your hyoid bone is by doing something called a neck curl. But you don't just want to do a neck curl, because usually what I see when people train their neck from the front, neck curls, they just think about lifting their neck up and down. And sure enough, it might probably train like your neck muscles that we have in front here. But we want to train our hyoid bone, not just our neck muscles. So what you want to think about when doing this exercise is, first of all, you want to lie with your head outside of your bed. And then you want to think about getting as steep of a stretch as possible on the way down. You can literally do this with me right now. Just try to look upwards as much as possible. And when you have looked up, try to stretch your neck backwards like that. You should feel an instant burn in your throat area here, which is your hyoid bone. And that is exactly what we want to feel. And then when you go up into the contraction part, you want to think about rolling your neck like this, instead of just lifting it like that. Then when you're rolling your neck, think about your chin have to touch this part area here. It won't touch it, but you just want to have the cue. Just like, for example, when you're doing bicep curls, you want to think about having your pinkies go to the side and up to the roof. It's kind of the same metrics. We just want to have the cue of thinking like that. But let's say that you have other insecurities, like that you have a puffy nose or just a puffy face in general. Maybe you have like a lot of acne on your face. Or maybe you don't know how to style your hair, like what hairstyle will suit you the best. And that is exactly what my program helps you with. Because when joining my program, as I said, you go on frequent calls with me, so you can ask me all the questions that you have that you want to get answered, or if you just want me to take a personal look at you, so you can save so much time, so you don't need to guess on what to do. Like so many people just guess that they just have to lose weight, I guess. But for most cases, it's actually some muscles or bones in your head that you need to train or getting raised, like our hyoid bone. So if you want my personal help and you want all the courses and full guides that I have inside of the same program, then I will really think it will be the best investment for you to do, because it will save you so much time. So if you're interested, then go have a look at the top link of the description. All the details are there. Now let's go to muscle number 3, which is a muscle called the Orbicularis oculi. In short terms, it's just the muscle that we have around our eyes. So why should we train this eye muscle, you might ask? And the reason why we want to train this is there's a lot of reasons, but these are the most common ones that I know. And the first one is that you have uneven eyes. So for some people, they have a left or their right eye more up or down than the other one, which will obviously make you look completely asymmetrical because one of your eyes is raised higher than the other one. And when this muscle is trained, you can literally either pull, you can just pull the eye muscle upwards. So how amazing is that we can do that? Another thing is that maybe you have what I had when I was younger, which is an ghost look. That's what I call it. So basically the ghost look is where you have your eyebrows raised like this. So you're not relaxed in your frontalis muscle, which is just your forehead muscle. Think about it like that. And usually it's because you're too tensed up in it, so your eyebrows are raised all the time, which won't really give you that attractive look, because you will have what's called prey eyes instead of having the popular term hunter eyes. So when you have this ghost look, you will also have more upper eyelid exposure, which is not what we want to have. If we want to have a more attractive eye area, we want to have less upper eyelid exposure, where our eyebrows is more fallen down, so it's in a straight line, or if it has a little bit of a tilt upwards. If you have what's called a negative tilt with your eyebrows, we can also fix that by training our eye muscle. And the last benefit is that if you have something called either a negative or neutral canthal tilt, which basically just means how your eyes goes. So maybe your eyes goes either downwards, so from down and upwards, which is a negative tilt, it goes downwards. Or maybe you have a neutral, so your eyes is just completely straight. Or you have the best trait, which is a positive canthal tilt, which goes upwards. And if you have a neutral or negative, don't worry. I had a neutral as well, but now because I have trained my eye muscle this much over the last few months, I have actually gotten it to be a little bit of a positive tilt, so we can train this as well. So there's 2 action steps that I want you to do. First of all, it's a method that actually models use in order for them to kind of get the standard look for the hunter eyes. The exercise is called the UUDD method. So the UUDD method basically just stands for up, up, down, down. So what you want to do is that you go upwards with your eyebrows like this. Do this with me right now so you understand how to do it later on, so you won't forget it. So go upwards with your eyes. Then what you want to do is that you want to look as much upwards with your eyes as possible. So you kind of feel like a strain and burn in your forehead muscle, like a headache. So from here you just want to think about going downwards with your eyes. Kind of just make an angry face as much as possible. You want to over exaggerate this movement. Then what you want to do from here is just tilt your head a little bit forwards and down, and then you just want to look back down. Now you kind of have the standard look for the hunter eyes, and you just want to spam this as much as possible so you can kind of get the feeling of how your expression should be like. And our body is so fascinating that over enough time, your body will actually learn how to have this look naturally instead of you having to forcing it. The second exercise that we can do is that you take your fingers by the end of your eyebrows, and then what you want to do is kind of pull under your eyebrows here so you can kind of grab the muscle. And then you want to go to the side and a little bit upwards. And then you just want to think about squinting down as much as possible, but without closing your eyes. You should feel a massive burn around your eye area here. Doing this over enough time will fix all of the things that I've mentioned in this step. So we have almost covered all the muscles. The last muscle that I want to cover is something called your palate. So the reason why we want to train our palate, which is basically just our roof of our mouth, is because a lot of people have what's called a recessed looking jawline and maxilla. And when this is fixed, so we can get what's called forward growth, you will get the most attractive looking jawline from all the angles that you can kind of take a photo from, so you won't be caught in 4K like I did. So action step is just you want to fix your tongue posture. So the way that we want to have our tongue posture is very simple. You just take your tongue by the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth. You should be able to feel like there is like a hole up against your roof of your mouth, and then when you try to go forwards, there should be like a wall that you can kind of go against. You want to push a little bit forwards and upwards so you get up in the hole. Like if you imagine 90 degrees, you want to go up to the hole here, and then you want to push it forward there. So it looks like this. And the last thing that I just did was just that I swallowed, so you get all the like saliva away, or what it's called, you know, the spit in your mouth. And then you just want to do this as much as possible. It's basically just called mewing. So now that we are at the end of this video, I really want to say thank you for watching this far. Think about how much you have been doing for yourself, that you're educating yourself, instead of just, you know, randomly scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. So I'm so proud of you for that. And that is exactly why that I know that this channel will be exactly the thing for you. Because this is the channel where I teach you exactly how to looksmax and become the most attractive version of yourself. So if you're interested in this, I will highly recommend to go down and click subscribe to my channel. If you want to keep on learning, then go have a look at this video over here. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day, bro. Mwah!